defining moment is when a teenager realizes that they're not all alone, that they don't have to figure out what this life is all about by themselves.
Young Life has been one of the best experiences of my life so far. It's been a lot of fun. It's gotten me closer to God, and I think that has made my life better. I try to invite kids to club, get people to camp, anything that involves Young Life.
You walk in, you got the music jamming, all the kids are running in, screaming, smiles on their face, You see kids that you would never think would be singing Taylor Swift, belting. It's just fun.
I just feel like I'm at home there. Everyone's so nice, and I don't feel judged there.
I would say that I developed so many relationships that I would have never had if I didn't have Young Life. And a lot of those people have touched my life in different ways to where they've completely changed it.
Young Life is not complicated. We go where teenagers are and we offer them trust, we offer them a friendship, and we offer them the hope of Jesus.
With my parents being divorced, the home life was really crazy and I never really wanted to be home. So, I never really laughed. I just kind of was up in my room, just pretending that everything was fine. Whenever Monday came around or Wednesday with campaigners, it was really nice to have an hour or two to just go somewhere and be out of the house and laugh and sing and play games and look silly and not have to put a fake smile on. Sometimes that was the only time a week that I would be truly happy and I wouldn't be thinking about anything else.
There was a very difficult time with my family. During that time, it was hard, and I felt like I could go to any of the leaders and just talk to them, and I could pray and everything would be okay because God does have a plan.
Young Life provides a window into the heart of God where they can not only see His love for them, but experience His love for them. They not only can see His plan for their life, but they can experience it with Young Life leaders who love them and care for them and walk through life with them.
My faith has really grown through Young Life. I went from believing in God and knowing a lot about Him to really accepting Him and knowing that He will accept me too. And it's more of a two-way conversation. He really speaks to me and works through me. I'm not just believing in Him.
There's just something about having a face-to-face conversation that still matters today. I think teenagers don't do that enough. They don't do that with each other. They'd rather text each other than pick up the phone and call somebody. When we as a Young Life leader can ask a kid to go to coffee and sit across the table and have a real conversation with them, that just shows them that they're valuable, they matter, that we really care about who they are.
It's more important for us as Young Life leaders to be out there where they are. When that trust is built, then they can begin to ask honest questions about life and about what it is that they're living for.
I remember when at Frontier Ranch, they sent us out to look at the stars for 15 minutes. I shared a lot of things with God, and from that moment on, that's when I realized that my relationship with Christ had started. And remembering that moment is so indescribable. You can't even wrap your mind around it until you've been there and been through it, because it's so defining. How I felt that moment when my relationship started with Christ will always be with me.
In Young Life, we create experiences, we create moments that I think a teenager can look back on their life when they're an adult and they remember that moment that God became real to them.
I remember a time at Windy Gap, it was last winter. At the time, I was really lost and I was filling my life with empty things, and I was thinking that if I went to a party I was going to be cool, and if I was drinking and smoking and doing all these things that everyone else is doing, that I was going to be accepted. The director got up. She had this one of those really big flashlights. She took the battery out and it was sitting there, and she had magazine papers and she was going through them, and she would hold it up and it would be a picture of skinny girls or makeup items that we fill our lives with, but they serve no purpose for us. So she would crumple up the paper and shove it in the flashlight. It didn't work, and obviously it wouldn't work. And she was like, if you fill your lives with these things, God will not light you up. You can't fill your lives with all these items that we think will make you happy, and they'll think that they'll serve a purpose for you, but they just won't. So she took all of it out saying how like we just need to take these things out of our lives. And she put in the battery, and she closed the cap, and she turned on the light. And she said that God is going to be the light that guides you. And I was so wrong, and everything she said, just like I really like felt God just come through me, and I need to change.
Every person can count on their hand the defining moments that have shaped who they are today. One of these moments is discovering the life-changing love of Jesus Christ.
It's just really nice to see how much God can forgive you and that no matter what you do, God's always there for you.
Now it's like God is my whole life, and I don't know what I did before.
I think God has a plan for everyone, because I mean everything happens for a reason, and I feel like God's leading us in the right way.
There's so many pressures out there, and Young Life just wants you to be a kid, and that message is brought from God, who just wants you to live life. That's all He wants you to do, is live life to the fullest.
Jesus wants teenagers to know that they can find comfort and security and healing in a relationship with Him. That is a defining moment